writing diligently about past, or even badly for that matter, merely writing about past traumatic experiences seemed to be a little distressing in the short run, 2 weeks or so, but beneficial physically and psychologically 3 to 6 months down the road.
In a world that rewards visibility above all else, choosing privacy is an act of rebellion. It's a typical morning. Your alarm clock rings, and before your feet hits the floor, you're already reaching for your phone. One swipe, one tap, and you're lost in a modern ritual, scrolling through an endless stream of updates. Your favorite female influencer has a new post. Your aunt's dog just died. Your coworker, who never shuts up about gluten, made sourdough bread from scratch. Oh, and your former high school classmate felt the urge to mention that he's going through a breakup. Very, very publicly. Before you know it, you're adding your voice to the noise. Maybe it's a simple picture of your breakfast, or a casual mention of the existential dread that looms over your morning like the gray sky outside. Just like that, you've shared more personal information with friends and strangers than your grandparents did in a year. It all feels so human. But that's not always a good thing. This endless cycle of consuming and sharing information has become so normalized that we barely think about it anymore. It feels harmless, even necessary, just another part of modern life. But dig a little deeper and you'll find the complex web of psychological, social, and emotional consequences that we're only starting to get a grip of. From an evolutionary perspective, we've always been storytellers. From cave paintings to Greek tragedies, romantic letters and books, even my script for this video. Sharing our lives has always been central to the human experience. Therefore, social media didn't create this instinct. It just cranked the volume up to 11. Now, with a few taps, we can broadcast our thoughts and feelings to potentially thousands of people. The more, the better. As a consequence, the kind of reach that once belonged to kings and celebrities is now in the hands of any idiot with a phone. As the saying goes,
remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
But let's not bullshit ourselves. Most of us are terrible at handling this power. We overshare, overthink, and overanalyze every interaction. We doubt ourselves and spiral over our spiraling. Mark Manson calls this the negative feedback loop from hell, and we don't know when or even how to stop. In the pre-digital age, privacy was the default. Sharing required effort. Writing a letter, making a phone call, or having face-to-face conversations with a neighbor. Now the script has flipped. Therefore, privacy demands conscious effort, a deliberate decision not to post, not to share, not to participate in the constant stream of updates and notifications. This shift has profound implications. When sharing is the norm, we often share thoughtlessly. Our feeds get filled with updates, ranging from the trivial to the deeply personal. And yes, some of it is harmless, funny memes, random observations, but so much of it is raw, vulnerable, and unfiltered.
You're fucking insane. Over the past few days, I don't understand. I've hit my mental breaking point.
Our darkest fears, our private struggles, our bodies, the kind of things we used to keep sacred. People even reward those who are public with their most private aspects of their life, calling it being real or transparent, therefore encouraging even more people to share deeply personal information. But there's a cost. Relationships crack under the weight of misinterpreted tweets. Jobs are lost over impulsive posts. Reputations ruined because of words shared in moments of anger or despair. These aren't rare things. They're everyday realities for countless people who've fallen into the trap of oversharing. And the damage isn't just external. When we're constantly performing for an audience, shaping our lives for the sake of likes and comments, something deeper emerges. We lose touch with ourselves. Think about the last time you experienced something truly memorable. Maybe it was on a vacation you worked so hard to pay for, or a romantic date with someone lucky. Did you savor it, or did your hand instinctively reach for your phone? In that moment, were you fully present, or were you starting to think about how to frame it for an inevitable social media post? But the compulsion to document and share everything creates a dangerous feedback loop. We start valuing experiences not for how they make us feel, but for how they might look to others, letting the eyes of strangers dictate our lives. Therefore, the intrinsic joy of a moment becomes secondary to its shareability. Were we not supposed to be ourselves, regardless of what others think about us? The solution to this psychological mess might sound laughably simple. Start a journal. Yes, really. Journaling isn't some groundbreaking invention. People have been doing it for centuries, from medieval monks to the best-selling book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, to your average teenage girls with glittery notebooks. But in the age of oversharing, journaling takes on a new significance. It's not just a way to document your life. It's a way to fight against the powers that are constantly trying to destroy you. A quiet, personal stand against the relentless demand to make everything public. Think of a journal as your private social media feed, a space where you can pour out your thoughts unfiltered and unjudged. No likes, no comments, no algorithms, no cancellations, just you and your thoughts in your own words. Personally, I have a small physical notebook. I guess I'm old-fashioned like that. My entries are short, often just one small page, the equivalent of 3 tweets, and I write once a week, maybe twice if something important crosses my mind. This freedom is transformative. It allows me to process my emotions, reflect on my experiences, and confront my own truths without the distorting lens of public scrutiny. There is no performance, no pretense, just raw authenticity. But compare that to the dopamine-driven cycle of social media. Every post, every update, every comment is designed to hook you, therefore pulling you back into the endless scroll. The likes and shares provide instant validation, a quick hit of approval that feels good in the moment but leaves you craving more, like a junkie. Journaling offers a different kind of satisfaction. It's slower, quieter, more introspective. Therefore, the reward isn't in external validation, but in the act of writing itself. The clarity that comes from untangling your thoughts, the peace that comes from unburdening your mind. The infamous psychologist Jordan Peterson explains this very well.
You're integrating your own personality at the highest and most abstract level of organization. and you're sharpening your tools, and you're putting yourself straight because you're learning to think. You learn to do that by writing.
Switching from constant sharing to private journaling isn't easy. Social media is like heroin. Therefore, journaling can feel lonely by comparison. It's like shouting into a void. But in the relentless noise of modern life, we desperately need spaces of silence, moments where we can step back, tune out the chaos, and listen to our inner voice. But this isn't a call to abandon social media entirely. It has its place. For many, it's a lifeline, a way to connect, to find support, to share joy and sorrow with a broader community. But it can't be the only way we express ourselves. There has to be something we keep just for us.